imagine a situation where Andy Crosby doesn't come in like a knight in shining armor and actually like pull us out of the mire, and we're actually talking about we're having this podcast talking about our playing in the National League next season with no new possible imminent sign of takeover. They'd be out like there would have been widespread revolt. I mean, we were on the verge of that actually happening when we lost to Accrington. So the fact that we've actually retained our League Two status is something of a minor miracle, in my opinion, given the sorry plight of where we were. And like you say, Matt, we have been on a downward trajectory, gone from 7th to 9th to 12th to 16th to 20th in the 5 seasons that we've been back in League Two. It's running on a downward spiral, and it really is only this manager that's come in and now signed a new contract, which has given such a positive uplift, really, and really has reconnected a fan base which was fragmenting at a rate of knots. So yeah, I guess from the Palaos' point of view, they want to sell the club. There's been various hold-ups. They've basically been putting sticking plasters over various situations. It's a very different Nicola and Mark Palaos to the ones that took over the club at a time where they felt as though they needed to step into the breach. They were regarded in hugely positive terms. That win against Boreham Wood, that promotion back, there was so much gratitude from the supporters for the owners for what they'd done, and obviously since then that sort of goodwill has gradually started to erode, and I still personally I'm very thankful to them for what they did in those initial stages, and I don't think that should be forgotten. However, unfortunately, the legacy that they are starting to leave, or possibly will end up leaving, is one of the fact that they've just kept the fans hanging on, and it's like, yeah, the uncertainty now is just it's people were coming up to me a few months ago when there was something on TalkSport, Mark Palaos, about it was the ASOT Rocky taking over your club and all of this business, and I said, well, yeah, but we're hoping new owners will come in and we'll be on an upward trajectory. But now we're almost at the end, coming towards the end of Q2, aren't we? And like Jack said, you'd be surprised now when you hear an announcement. It'd actually be takeovers can take time, but there aren't many football clubs that seem to have such a protracted amount of time that's happening with this situation.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can't forget the good that the Palaos have done. I echo that statement, that I'm thankful for everything that we've been through on those first few seasons, and I mean the double promotion and everything. But I mean, even though I'm sure they've said that it's the right time to look to sell the club as well. They've said to move forward that's sort of what we need to do, and it's just, yeah, and again, it's completely fine with the NDAs. It's right to have that in place, but I think for fans it is just worrying and disappointing. I think you look at season ticket sales, we thought it would be done before the end of Q1. We thought it would be done before the start of next season, and fans have got that early bird price for season tickets. And if we're looking at not a takeover not going through before next season, and like you say, having another struggling season on a sort of downward trajectory, it's going to be a difficult watch. I think that's the worrying thing is the timing of everything, and it can't be helped, and for all we know, these delays might not be our owners, it could be the buyers. We don't know what's holding it up, and that's part of the reason, really. And I think that's just the only way. If we knew what was the hold up, then fans wouldn't be critical of certain things, I think. But I think that's the most difficult part, because we can't, because of what's in place.